Okay, so color comes into play as part of a means to balance a design space. So we can balance bright colors against dull colors. We can balance cool colors versus warm colors, things like that. So we look at this poster. We've got a lot of warm, very heavy color on the top, fairly vivid, fairly bright. And then we have black and white achromatic with some color patterning going on. We also have a little bit of black patterning with the characters, and then a little more chroma down here in the black area. But all of the strength of the black and white and the horizontality of this balances the vividness here. So the entire design is stabilized. In this Diebenkorn, we have smaller areas of warmer color balancing larger areas of cooler and neutralized color in terms of we've got grays and tones going on in here. Small areas of dark, larger areas of light. Color very obviously is a communicator or indicator of mood, and this is a landscape in New Zealand, and obviously the color has been modified a bit to create a very kind of not quite stormy but a little bit foreboding, slightly cold, very vacant. The color works to help carry the sense of place in this photograph. Same here. This is the primary triad and the subtractive red, yellow, blue. Notice that everything is pretty much high value, and there's a darkness, a foreboding, night's about to fall. We have a sense that something's going to happen. It's very dramatic. At the same time, we have a color scheme that is bright. You can hear the crack of the bat almost in the orange and the yellow-orange in the background. A lot of diagonals, of course, help create a sense of energy and excitement and movement. And we have the energy of, okay, the ball's been hit, it's a home run, he's going to run the bases. We use color to help create a sense of space using atmospheric perspective. The more vivid color and the warmer color are in the foreground, and the warmer color advances, the cooler color, the green, recedes. The brighter color, even though nothing here is really bright, but the red is brighter than the greens and the grays, that advances. And we also have a sense of atmospheric perspective because the detail on the figures up there on the berm, you can't see what's going on in the detail. You just see the silhouette outlines. Yet you have everything highly detailed on the bench in the foreground. So, just by virtue of how color operates and how it's applied, we can create a sense of space. Another sense of space is flat space. Obviously, we've talked about plastic. Now this is flat space. Bright, vivid color, very often equal in value, but over the entire design space you have a distribution of color that basically equivocates figure and ground. Very different kind of spatial expression, not facial expression, but spatial expression than what is going on here. There's three different ways that we use color as designers, and one is to use color as it naturally occurs, which would be optically as we actually see it. If we want to exaggerate that one way or the other, either make it more vivid or simplify it or make it less vivid, that's called heightened. but it's still based on the actual color of something. An arbitrary is color that's assigned for mood, for aesthetic reasons, for whatever reason other than trying to represent something, in direct natural color. And very often what you'll find is you're using all three of these types of color treatments within a design. Both of these pieces, the design on the left and the painting on the right, use color in an optical fashion. The poster on the left, obviously, we have a Caucasian human being, we've got a blue robe, we've got kind of yellowish stone, we've got white blossoms, green leaves, things like that. Color is used optically. And in the Sorolla painting, the same thing. We have the sunlight on the flesh tones, the sunlight on the water, we have the shadow areas, but generally speaking, even though there's some stylization, it's still an optical use of color. This would be heightened color, and it's heightened because if we look at the Lichtenstein, obviously we've got a blonde. The blonde is represented by yellow, and we've got pink skin, pink lips, and red and blue here would be arbitrary. The black down here would be arbitrary, but basically this is a heightened use. It's oversimplified, it's stylized to the point where it becomes very simply stated. Same thing here. We have simple statement on the sky, on the architectural features, and on the locomotive. This is arbitrary use. This is for aesthetic reasons, functional reasons, legibility, hierarchy, and so forth. Arbitrary. The original Get Smart, which was much better than the movie, by the way. If you haven't seen that series ever, get it on Netflix. Black and white, achromatic photo is arbitrary color. This poster from the 60s, obviously arbitrary because nobody has yellow skin and yellow hair and purple shadows, and so all of this is arbitrary use of color. Okay, the last thing we want to talk about is a visual phenomenon called the afterimage effect. And the afterimage effect is something that is constantly going on. We don't recognize it all the time because we don't look at something long enough, but you've, I'm sure, experienced it all your life, and now we're going to put a name to it. And what I want you to do is look at the black circle for a little bit and just focus on that for a few seconds. And keep looking at the black circle. And now what do you see? What you should be seeing is sort of a the complementary colors, actually. So the complement of red, you'll see green here. The complement of yellow, you see a violet tinge here. The complement of green is red, and so you'll see redness here. And then the complement of blue is orange, and you'll see an orange cast to the gray. So what happens is, as you're looking at something, the colors that you're seeing are affecting the rods and cone cells in your eye. And the red wavelengths coming off the red are actually fatiguing the cone receptor cells in your eye that receive the red wavelength, and it gets tired. The other colors remain strong, and here this is fatiguing the red and the green, and that'll give us yellow in the additive. But what you're going to end up seeing is the complement in the afterimage. So it's kind of like on color film, color negative film. If you have seen that, you'll notice that anything that's red in the printed photo on paper is green on the color negative, and so forth. And basically it's a matter of opposites, complementary colors, and so forth. So the after image effect affects how we perceive color. It's constantly affecting how we perceive color. But we don't always notice it because we're either not aware of it or we are aware of it. We don't know what it is that's going on, or we don't know what to call it. And by the way, there is one color that does not create an after image effect. Every color has an opposite except for one, and that is a 50% mid-value gray. And so that's why this ground is gray, so that when you look at these colors and then they're replaced by the gray, you have a very vivid after image effect.